First Lady endorses cybersecurity training program for the youth. A very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. Welcome to News Tonight. It's me, Michael Jordan Lukomwa, with Namuyomba, my colleague here on the sign language part, and we'll go right away to what we have for you this evening. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, in our first story, has concluded his 4-day working visit to the United Arab Emirates with a significant meeting with His Highness Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qassim, the Supreme Council member of the UAE and ruler of Sharjah. The president was warmly received at the Royal Palace in Sharjah by Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qassim, accompanied by the chairman of the Sharjah Chamber of Commerce and Industry, His Excellency Abdallah Al Uwais, and the president of the Amiri Dewan, His Excellency Rashid Al Sheikh. During the meeting, the two leaders discussed matters of mutual interest between Uganda and Sharjah, with a particular focus on fostering economic cooperation. We have details to the report.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has met with Khalid Al-Humre, who he invited to come and invest in the waste management sector as a way of addressing the country's waste challenges.
I am one of the people with the biggest waste on earth. This is because we are 46 million of us, and in the next few years we shall be 100 million, and we all eat fresh food. So you can imagine you have the bananas, you have the other crops. All of them you need to peel. Then you have, so I don't know, that must be the biggest percentage.
President Museveni assured Mr. Khalid of the Ugandan government's support for such investments. He emphasized the critical role of electricity in driving the economic growth and shared insights into Uganda's waste management history and challenges.
Now there is a new problem which has been added, the packaging material, which used to be fibers in the past. We used to use banana fibers. You know, the dry bananas. Yeah. They are the ones we are using to tie things. Now these have been replaced with plastic. So you have the organic. Now you have this plastic added to as packaging now.
The president urged Mr. Khalid to ensure affordable electricity costs for consumers, advocating for a price not exceeding US dollars 0.8 per kilowatt per hour. President Museveni encouraged Mr. Khalid and other like-minded investors to consider investing in Uganda. He noted that such investments would not only address the pressing issues of waste management, but also generate employment opportunities for Ugandans.
And we also operate in Saudi Arabia.
Khalid Al-Humre, who agreed to this proposal, is the group CEO and vice chairman of Beth Company, shared his extensive experience in waste management spanning over 15 years. He highlighted his achievements in managing waste in countries such as Saudi Arabia and Egypt through public-private partnerships.
90% of waste away from landfill, so we do not need any more landfills in the city of Sharjah. So today this is the highest achieved already in the Middle East. So we have different facilities, from waste to energy facility, the first in the Middle East we developed also in Sharjah, to different types of facilities, construction waste, to industrial wastewater. It took us 15 years to achieve this result.
The meeting was attended by several high-ranking Ugandan officials, including Kiriwaki Wanuka, the Attorney General, Ramadhan Ngowi, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Vincent Wajire, Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Zaki Kibedi, Ambassador of Uganda to the UAE, Ambassador Isa Ismail, Deputy Head of Mission Uganda Embassy in Abu Dhabi.
Landfills in the city of Sharjah.
President Yoweri Museveni, in other news, currently on a working visit to to the United Arab Emirates, which he has concluded, as we said in the first story, attended the 4th edition of the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week of 2025. During his visit, he held a meeting with Mr. Khalid Al Huramel, a prominent investor based in Sharjah, UAE, who expressed interest in Uganda's waste management sector.
President Yoweri Museveni has expressed gratitude for the UAE's support, specifically highlighting the construction of an international airport near Kidapo Valley National Park. He emphasized the potential of the project to significantly boost Uganda's tourism sector. In response, Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasim commended President Yoweri's commitment to transforming Uganda's economy and strengthening bilateral ties. The president's visit also witnessed the signing of two important memoranda of understanding, that is to say that of construction of the Emirates Eye Hospital in Entebbe, signed by Mr. Vincent Bagere, Uganda's permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, on behalf of the government of Uganda. Investment cooperation in the rail and transport sector. This was also signed by Honorable Kiwa Kiwanuka, the Attorney General, on behalf of the government of Uganda. Both MOUs were signed in the presence of President Yoweri Museveni and his delegation, led by dignitaries including Mr. Ramadhan Gobi, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Finance, Dr. Diana Twine, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Health, and the Ambassador Zake Kebedi, Uganda's ambassador to UAE. The 4-day visit underscored Uganda's commitment to strengthening its partnership with UAE and exploring opportunities for economic development and investment. This marks the end of the 4 days visit by His Excellency President Yoweri Museveni.
The Ministry of Defence and Internal Affairs budget has been reduced by 32 billion shillings as outlined in the 2024-25 budget framework paper. Appearing before the Defence Committee of Parliament, Minister of Internal Affairs Major General Retired Kahinda Otafire warned that this shortfall will significantly impact key service delivery priorities.
The Minister of Finance presented the budget framework paper to Parliament on December 19, 2024, which was subsequently reviewed by sectoral committees, including the Defence Committee. The committee identified critical issues such as unpaid salaries for newly recruited police officers and discrepancies in salary enhancements for police officers.
Internal Affairs has been allocated 1.490 billion for 25-26, which is less when compared with 1.966.41 billion revised budget of this year, 2024-25. It's less by 475.712 billion.
Our budget for the next financial year, which is starting in July, has been cut by 32 billion from the current 932 billion to 895 billion. Cut affects the areas of crime investigation, intelligence, feeding, fuel, our capacity to pay arrears, and preparation for the general elections.
A major concern raised was the readiness of the Uganda Police Force for the 2026 general elections.
We want to know SOPs and equipment needs of Uganda Police Force during hazardous operations. We want to know, because this year we are going for elections, especially primaries. We want to know the preparedness of Uganda Police to guarantee us safety and security.
Undersecretary Agre Wunyi reported that 362 billion shillings are required to manage the elections, funds that are currently unavailable. Plans include recruiting 3,500 police constables, 10,000 district police commanders, DPCs, and 50,000 polling constables.
And 50,000 polling constables just for the polling period, and these ones are normally hired for 4 months. Our recruitment plan is costed according to the categories. The 3,500, Chair, the salaries of police constables have now risen to 583, 660. So we require an annual salary of 24 billion.
Debates emerged among committee members about deployment responsibilities involving the Electoral Commission and the police, as well as the remuneration of polling constables.
Police planning to do this recruitment on behalf of the Electoral Commission, or it is just assuming other people's mandate? And how did they come to know that there will be 3,500? Is it on request of the Electoral Commission?
Will these people be trained? Are these the people who are paid to harass people in elections? Are they the people who usually torment us and our people? They usually give them guns without them being trained, and then they account for the money.
Talking about polling constables, they actually even don't hold guns. No, they protect just there. And we are not allowed to keep guns within that vicinity.
Inspector General of Police Abbas Byakagaba highlighted the need for support in recruitment, maintenance of critical infrastructure like marine police and fire brigade, and managing utility areas.
Moving up, we are going down, but the population is increasing, activities are increasing, the budget of the police is going down, but what is the good news is that crime is reducing, so we really need your support. That means the
police face a 20 billion shilling deficit for water and electricity areas, with only 14 billion shillings available. Committee members also questioned the non-payment of salaries for newly recruited police officers, which officials clarified as being related to their status of recruits. I'm Nafka Farida and Gloria Gwitabinji at Parliament.
A section of members of parliament have expressed optimism about the next upcoming wealth creation presidential tour to Busoga region, with many hoping that this is crucial in offering time and space to discuss about the current and future plans of the region. However, to others want the president to pay attention to the unfulfilled pledges which have impacted the progress of the sub-region Busoga. President Museveni will be in Busoga in a week's time.
In the coming week, His Excellency, the President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, will be heading to Busoga sub-region for the 3 days wealth creation tour. The 3 days meeting will see the President interact with communities, evaluate key government programs, as well as chat about new development plans for Busoga sub-region.
A program of visiting successful farmers, addressing issues within the border small-scale opportunities, they have been aligned to this.
To a section of members of parliament from Busoga, the President's visit is timely and worth an appreciation.
This is very prudent and very important that as the CEO, as the counting officer of Uganda, it's upon him to check, to do a background check, to check on people, to make sure that all those programs that have been provided for and facilitated by government are being implemented and they do benefit Busoga people.
When we had a meeting in Parliament, regarding the presidential visit, there are issues that we zeroed on, and we looked at quite areas that the president is going to visit, and we decided that he's going to host the leadership meeting in Iganga, and the main meeting will be in Lukomwa.
However, some have expressed skepticism.
One, I remember I was still a younger boy. It was around 2001, 2002. He was in Kamuli. He promised that his government would be working on the road from Jinja to Mbulamuti, then to Bukungu. 22 years down the road, there is nothing on ground. Even compensation has failed. So I expect him to tell us, did he lie? What happened after 20 years? Do we still expect him to fulfill that promise or not?
According to the NRM Secretariat, the presidential tour also gives the party ample time to evaluate its manifesto implementation progress, especially for the ending term of 2021-2026.
Every incumbent has the advantage of the office they occupy. While they are serving the population, nothing can stop them from fraternizing with the population, discussing on the future plans, and even making interjections or proposing how the relationship could be extended beyond the current term.
The presidential Wealth Creation Tour will kick off on Wednesday, 22nd January 2025 and end on Saturday, 25th. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
This is a very rich area. The whole of Uganda is.
First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has partnered with Deborah's Impact Projects Africa, DIPA, and the African World Training Center to launch a cybersecurity training initiative for Ugandan youth. The program targets 200,000 participants addressing cybercrime and employment and the global cyber talent shortage. During a meeting at State House Nakasero, the First Lady engaged with Apostle Isi Ignegba, founder of the DIPA, and AWTC founders Augustine De Gaulle and Valeria Suseido to explore collaboration opportunities. The initiative prioritizes training women as trainers, beginning with 5,000 participants, recognizing Uganda's youth-dominated population and 13.3% unemployment rate. The program aims at creating high-value jobs and attract global partnerships. A memorandum of understanding will formalize the collaboration, enabling Uganda to serve as a cybersecurity outsourcing hub for international companies. Mrs. Museveni praised the organizers' dedication to empowering Ugandan youth.
Impact Projects Africa, an arm of the Month of Deborah, serves as a strategic grassroots enrollment and community outreach partner for technology education across Africa. In partnership with Africa World Training Centers, they aim to train millions of young women in cybersecurity, bridging the gap between world-class technology, education, and untapped community potential. The initiative will begin with 5,000 promising young people, particularly women, who will become trainers of trainers.
The impact of cybersecurity and breach in cybersecurity in different nations, and why this has become one of the most foremost sought after solutions right now in the world.
The youth population here look just like me. This is a wealthy place where countries like Asia and America, where we have partnerships now, can come and find solution here. And so we wanted to walk you through what that process could look like and hopefully get your hand in partnership if all goes well.
Our goal is to have them working in jobs. So the idea is that global companies can hire talent and not actually have to take them out of the country. So you're looking at foreign domestic investment into Uganda so that the talent and the people can actually work from home and be able to help companies globally.
They noted that Uganda's demographics, with 75% of its population under 30 and a 13.3% unemployment rate, make it an ideal destination for their existing Asian and American partnerships. Mrs. Museveni expressed gratitude to Apostle Isi for her dedication to Uganda.
I must thank Apostle Isi really for thinking about Uganda. And please know we value your love for Uganda and involving us in whatever you do. And we are ready and willing to come alongside you, and we'll see how far we can go with this.
She further announced that the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, Uganda, and the two organizations would sign a memorandum of understanding to launch the program.
It sounds really good and very interesting. Now what we need to do is look into how we can tap into this, plan for which areas we need to start with, and we need to be sure that we train with those programs for the levels of education that fit that training.
The program will prepare youth to work with international companies at global standards. Foreign companies can outsource cybersecurity work to Uganda through dedicated centers. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Now, the inpatient population at Butabika National Referral Mental Hospital has doubled over the past 5 years, now standing at 1,200. The hospital's Deputy Executive Director, Byama Mutamba, highlighted the increasing demand for services and the growing need for comprehensive care for the patients. Speaking during a visit by the parliamentary circle led by Chairman Robert Migadde, Mutamba outlined several challenges the hospital continues to face which hinder effective service delivery.
The Deputy Executive Director, Butabika National Referral Mental Hospital, Byama Mutamba, has informed the parliamentary circle about the pressing challenges at the facility.
Many of them, when they come here, we provide the whole package of care, not only medical treatment, but we house them, we feed them, and that puts a lot of demand on our services.
He was speaking during a visit by the parliamentary circle led by Chairman Robert Migadde. He outlined several challenges the hospital continues to face, which hinder effective service delivery. These include difficulties in meeting the rising demand for utilities, healthcare services, and other resources required to manage the increased inpatient population.
Meaning that the demand on the service definitely increases in terms of how much care we have to provide to the patient, in terms of utilities, in terms of health services, whether it is medicine, in terms of the health worker patient ratio. The health workers have to see more patients than ideally they should. The other demand that is on us as a hospital, because of the large patient population and an incomplete perimeter wall and the nature of our patients, it means that they are more likely to escape out of the hospital. The perimeter wall, if it's completed, will reduce the risk, because once they escape, then they are at risk of other dangers.
To address some of these challenges, the parliamentary circle, through its social corporate responsibility program, donated 8 million shillings towards a water initiative aimed at increasing the hospital's water capacity.
Promise for more future engagements within our resources.
The hospital management noted that water harvesting initiatives like this help save over 100 million shillings annually on water expenses. Lydia Chomkama for UBC News.
Team representing retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye has petitioned the Uganda Law Society regarding the General Court Martial's handling of Besigye's case and the conviction of lawyer Aaron Kiza. During a public engagement at the Uganda Law Society headquarters in Kamocha, lawyer Elias Lukwago, a member of Besigye's defense team, presented the petition. They argued that the court's proceedings violate the right to a fair hearing under Article 28 of the Constitution.
The General Court Martial recently dismissed applications filed by BSJ and his co-accused Obed Lutale, including one challenging the court's jurisdiction as they are not UPDF officers, and another seeking a constitutional reference. Elias Lukwago, a member of BSJ's defense team, presented the petition. They argued that the court's proceedings violate the right to a fair hearing under Article 28 of the Constitution.
Constitutional concerns. We contend that Article 126 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda vests judicial authority in the course of judicature and other subordinate sports. While the General Court Martial is an establishment of the Constitution and other laws of Uganda, it's our strong recommendation that the provisions of the UPDF Act 2005 granting it jurisdiction over civilians has faced significant constitutional challenges.
Despite refusing to answer charges, The court proceeded to remand them, raising concerns from the defense team. The petition criticized the impartiality of the court and the treatment of civilians in military trials. It also highlighted the conviction of Aaron Chiza, urging Uganda Law Society to intervene. Uganda Law Society President Isaac Semakade pledged to address these concerns, while Vice President Anthony Asimwe expressed frustration over judicial delays and inefficiencies.
Mr. President and your team, I'm sure you take cognizance of the fact that there are quite a number of decisions handed down by the Constitutional Court on this particular matter regarding the jurisdiction of the General Court Martial over civilians. Not one, not two decisions, but a couple of them. We have raised these concerns and all these issues before the General Court Martial, but all in vain.
The engagement also included discussions on new prerequisites for bailiffs, which many argued interferes with their practice.
From the Uganda Law Society, we'll take a very short break. Thank you so much for keeping it with us. Let's return.
Here's your chance to win school fees for your child for a whole year. Just pay school fees using Momo. Dial *165 *80 hash. Select option 2 for school pay. Select option 1 to pay school fees. Enter the student number and amount and approve the transaction. You are now entered a draw to win school fees.
Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UKUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UKSAF, and we're happy that UKSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers. What did we get from ICT for Farmers? We managed to skill up to 100,000 farmers.
Welcome back from the break. It's UBC News Tonight. Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja has asked the incoming Permanent Secretary, Alex Kakoza, to prioritize on gaps that are still hindering service delivery at the office of the Prime Minister. Nabbanja was this evening presiding over the handover ceremony to the new Permanent Secretary, Alex Kakoza, from the outgoing PS, Dunstan Balaba, at the office of the Prime Minister in Kampala.
While presiding over the handover ceremony, Nabbanja says that systems have been put in place at OPM and thanked Balaba for his effort in serving the country. Nabbanja, however, says that there are some gaps that need to be addressed by the incoming PS, especially in procurement and administration.
We still have issues in terms of procurement. Those issues are still being put in place. We still have issues of absenteeism by staff. And many other administrative issues.
The NRM Secretary General Richard Todong, who also witnessed the handover, says that OPM is the center of government program implementation, which should work to coordinate for better service delivery.
A lot of people have made government offices like small chiefdoms. When they are transferred, they want to move with everybody, they want to stay, they don't want to move. But I love the spirit I'm seeing, and that should speak to the entire government, that these are public offices, You can be moved to one office to another, and you can come and join in a peaceful manner and in a very cordial environment.
The outgoing Permanent Secretary, Danstan Balaba, in his handover report, thanked President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for appointing him to serve as Permanent Secretary at the OPM. Balaba highlighted a number of achievements while at OPM.
I hand over the ministerial policy statement for this financial year for having appointed me as a Permanent Secretary, coming all the way from the local governments as a Chief Administrative Officer, and lifting me up and bringing me not only to another ministry, but to the office of the Prime Minister. I feel proud of this, and I want to thank His Excellency the President for this. Right Honorable, I take the opportunity to hand over the office of the Permanent Secretary Office of the Prime Minister to Mr. Alex Kakoza with effect from 16th January 2025 at 3:30 p.m.
Alex Kakoza, the incoming Permanent Secretary, says that the Office of the Prime Minister will strengthen accountability within OPM and in other ministries and also ensure proper implementation of government programs.
Right now, Prime Minister will be focusing on accountability, especially at a strategic level, because my colleague has already started on the internal accountability. The resources were given internally. We also use our little networks to lobby for more resources to the Office of the Prime Minister, because when we have my colleague across in the SDGs, I'm sure we can reach out to a number of people to have more resources, as indicated today in our submission to Parliament.
Alex Kakoza has been acting Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Trade and Industry. The handover ceremony was witnessed by Peter Lokaris, the Karamoja Affairs Minister, National Planning Authority, and technical staff from OPM.
Fresh graduates have been tasked to take on agriculture for the enormous yet untapped opportunities as a solution to the unemployment problem in the country. The Chancellor, Makerere University, both Dr. Crispus Rionga and the Minister of State for Agriculture, Lieutenant Colonel retired Bright Ramirama advised the youth to leverage the opportunities in the agricultural sector to not only fix the unemployment puzzle, but help to solve the food shortage challenge. These remarks this was during the 4th day of the 75th graduation ceremony of Makerere University.
Solving unemployment crisis in the country has been the key message by speakers at the 4th day of the 75th graduation ceremony of Makerere University. Speakers urged the graduates to venture in the agriculture sector. Available statistics indicate that up to 50% of Uganda's arable land is either under or unutilized, explaining why the once East Africa's food basket occasionally suffers food shortage.
That would not be a problem, but the problem arises that side by side, 50% of arable land, we have varying degrees of food insecurity across the country. Where is the source of my evidence? First, the School of Public Health of Makerere University has articulated this subject. It has, for example, indicated that in the area of the Rwenzoris and part of Greater Kigezi, stunting among children under 5 years goes as high as 40% in some situations.
The Chancellor Makerere University, Dr. Crispus Kionga, asked the Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries to partner with the institutions of higher learning to persuade the youth into appreciating the agriculture sector.
We propose that we should have some formalized relationships with some farms in the countryside What we are having in mind are medium and large-scale farmers in different parts of the country. Then students from different sectors, but particularly agriculture, would go to these farms, work with the farmers, but at the same time, find time to do some extension services in the neighboring areas of the medium and large-scale farmers.
The line minister in charge of animal industry, Lieutenant Colonel retired Bright Ramirama, graced the graduation ceremony in his capacity as the chairman, MUB's Alumni Association.
I want you people to view agriculture sector as a business, not as a way of life. Agriculture, most of our industry here are agriculture based. So you have an opportunity in agriculture if you approach it in that angle.
Makerere University's 75th graduation ceremony added to the labor market 13,662 graduates, 40% of whom are from Makerere University Business School. Makerere University Vice Chancellor Professor Barnabas Nawangwe, flanked by the principal, Makerere University Business School, Professor Moses Muhwezi, advised graduates to consider furthering their education so as to be competitive enough.
But in addition to knowledge, now seek for wisdom to make sense of the world and yourselves. You know success is possible, and so is failure. The choice is yours.
Do not despair if you cannot find employment immediately. Instead, reflect on the immense opportunities around you and raise them as an entrepreneur.
I'm ready for the industry and to at least put my skills to use and the knowledge that I've acquired from school.
If you are able to get a job at the moment, first acquire jobs that you can get a stable income, because these further studies that you need require some bit of money.
I want to thank my parents for being there for me through thick and thin until now that I've made it.
Parents too seized this opportunity to thank God and advise their counterparts about the importance of education.
Me from Kibuku, Mgwere from Mugdea, I've also joined the many parents who have taught their children, and I'm proud to be also a parent of Makerere Business School. And really, I'm very proud to see that the one interviewing me was my student, was my pupil in St. Jude, in the names of Kimono Lucas.
Some of us, the parents, we always leave girl children behind, thinking they are a source of wealth to us. But in the future, they can be a greater wealth to us. So we should always strive hard to get fees for them, even during difficulties. Let us even sell our last clothes to see to it that our children are at school.
The week-long Makerere University graduation ceremony concludes this Friday, the 17th day of January 2025. Dorcas Kimo.
Yes, we now see a pride teacher and parent at the same time. Meanwhile, Ministry of Housing and collaboration with KCCA plans to build homes for those affected by the West landslide that happened in Chitezi in August last year. Prime Minister Robin Nabanja says that government will spend over 84 billion Uganda shillings to build 3-bedroom houses, or 77 billion shillings for 2-bedroom houses to the victims. The landslide that occurred in Kitezi left people's homes destroyed and 34 lives lost. This left many people devastated and several homes were left in ruins. Now, government working with KCCA has put forward plans to construct homes for those affected by the disaster.
In August last year, the Kitezi landfill collapsed, killing 34 people, leaving hundreds displaced and property worth billions destroyed. Now, the government, through the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development and the Ministry of Kampala Capital City Authority, have tabled a proposal before the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robin Nabanja, to construct low-cost affordable houses for the Kitezi landfill disaster-affected people.
We are so grateful if what you are talking about is what you are going to do. Because you always told we put things on paper, when it comes to implementation, it takes years and years. And KCCA people, we need to go back and review those people. Because the other week they were rioting, they were demonstrating, and we had to go there and calm them down with police.
According to the ministry, once implemented, the project will be undertaken by the private company, Burwada Estate Company Limited, at a cost of 84 billion Uganda shillings for the 3-bedroom houses and 77 billion shillings for the 2-bedroom houses, respectively.
For a 3-bedroom unit, it will cost 84 billion 996,464 Uganda shillings. The total cost for this 2-bedroom house would be, the entire project finished, would be 77 billion 104 million 16,314 Uganda shillings.
According to the Minister of State for Housing, Persis Namuganza, the 638 houses will be constructed on KCCA land in Dundu, in Mkono district. Namuganza says the beneficiaries will have to pay for the houses in installments on top of the compensation money given for the loss of their land in Kitezi.
Of rent to own, that if someone, after deducting the land value and the cost of their house, is to pay 20 million remaining, this money should not be just cash down, because they cannot even afford it. So when government settles a ballpark, these people pay this money, like it used to be in the case of poor houses, and then this person, when it completes the balance, pensions.
But the Prime Minister Robin Nabanja cautioned the ministers over the high cost of the houses, advising that government can opt for the compensation instead of building houses.
For us, we have discussed, and I must be sincere to you, I wish we had this. But can your government afford? Because your government doesn't have money. So for me, I was now targeting only the other ones, the 48, the 24. They don't need to shift. They will reconstruct the houses there. So Linga, inyumba ye ntuna ojitiza usetebeka nibakula valuation ya asa. Olinga gaja milioni 28. That is what they wanted, because we don't have money. So 28 times 24 ndicho chivu okusinga okutawanya abantu. Instead of government, I don't think you will get that money, because you are going to make these people bankrupt. They will use their money, construct, and will fail to pay them. So me, I'm speaking from this office, which I am always in.
Like we are now demoralized to proceed.
No, I thought I needed to tell you the truth.
Nabanja advised the team to prepare a cabinet paper.
Drive this and we get a cabinet paper. Then government decides the whole government approach. Because I cannot deceive that I can decide on this alone. So sometimes for me, it's better I tell you the truth. If we have been well planned, these people can put up houses. If somebody has money, let them buy those houses from these children.
UBC News Tonight. The Inspector General of Police, Abbas Byakagaba, has stated that the police will investigate the circumstances under which security operatives killed suspected robbers during a money heist attempt in Kamocha. The IGP made the statement amid growing concerns over the execution of the suspects, which has raised alarm among members of the public. The Minister for Internal Affairs, Kahindo Tafire, has ordered a thorough report from the police regarding the allegations. Human rights activists have condemned the act, calling it extrajudicial.
The Inspector General of Police, Abbas Byakagaba, has stated that the operation conducted by security agencies or operatives in Kamocha on suspected robbers requires serious investigation. He says an assessment will be conducted so as to arrive to a logical conclusion on the matter.
The media has brought out what was seen, what was purportedly seen, but the police must bring out what exactly happened. I know what happened really raises a lot of concern. We are talking about loss of lives here. But allow me to repeat it again. We are taking it as seriously.
But when you have people, because the police took the law in their hands, so there is no difference between the police, whose mandate is to keep law and order, and an educated rural mob that aims at eliminating a thief in their communities. So we cannot have police resorting to mob justice.
Even my colleagues who are here, none of them was directly there. It calls for serious investigation and assessment to arrive at a decision that must remain legal and defendable.
The Executive Director, Center for Constitutional Governance, Dr. Sarah Birete, argues that the security forces had other options and should not have resorted to killing the suspects.
If the purpose was to apprehend, aim at the legs, shoot and pick people so that they face their day in court. But in this case, the operation did not aim at that. It aimed at elimination, and that's prohibited. I don't know who gave this command to shoot and kill. It's what we witnessed during the Operation Wembley days in Kampala that were extrajudicial, also aimed at eliminating robbers. The cause was good, but the methods were extrajudicial and unconstitutional, and in this case we are seeing a repeat of this.
Our investigation shows these are suspects who are fleeing the scene.
This operation, I think somewhere, somehow, although I'll say it will reduce all these kind of characters. You remember even the operation sometimes CMI did with the, it was called Colonel something. Wembley. Operation Wembley. The thieves had reduced.
And now from the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Minister of Internal Affairs, Major General Kahinda Otafire, has said the officers involved in the operation will be held accountable for their actions.
Under no circumstances should a Ugandan be executed or killed when he is in handcuffs or unarmed.
I watched an eyewitness account on one of the media stations, a lady who said even the thief, the suspected thief who was fleeing on a border, stopped when he was told to stop. Then the police came and shot him as he had stopped. So what was the force used in this case?
He came and directed it on like where I was, and he shot the guy who had cell next to us. He shot him. Even the one with a pistol came and added him, and then the other one told him, come. So that is what happened. Now for me, the bullet kind of passed on top of my skin, injuring some bit of the tissue on the side.
I regret what you said, that Ugandans were gunned down on mere suspicion. This is contrary to my policy directive, and I've called for a report of the incident.
The identities of the 6 deceased individuals have been confirmed and their bodies have been claimed by their relatives respectively. Matovroy Kevin, Ivan Kawa, UBC News.
The chairman of the Democratic Alliance, Matthias Mpuga, along with his leadership, paid a courtesy visit to the Electoral Commission headquarters in Kampala to discuss several key issues as the country prepares for the 2026 general elections.
The leader of the Democratic Alliance, Matthias Mpuga, Wednesday met with members of the Jema party to discuss their joint efforts toward the 2026 election coalition. Today, the Democratic Alliance team met with the Electoral Commission to continue these discussions, focusing on ensuring a smooth and fair electoral process.
We wrote to several stakeholders, like you're aware, political parties, civil society organizations, citizen platforms, cultural institutions, religious institutions, and the Electoral Commission as a key stakeholder in managing our electoral processes, as a midwife for our electoral processes. They gladly offered this meeting to interact with us on a wide range of issues that relate to electoral management.
Some of the key issues raised by the Democratic Alliance included a call for the Electoral Commission to allow prisoners and Ugandans living abroad to participate in the 2026 elections.
We have shared with them and asked them how they are dealing with a court decision in Karari versus AG and Electoral Commission that compels them to organize for the voting of prisoners and the diaspora. And the response has been they are ready as long as the legal framework is facilitative, because it's not their mandate to change the law, it's the mandate of Parliament. So I thought that was a much more present response.
The team also advocated for the division of overpopulated constituencies to ensure citizens receive better services.
Their role in demarcating constituencies, given that the national census was conducted, and they have informed us that the process is incomplete because they missed some information from NIRA.
Additionally, the visiting team requested an independent analysis of the voter registration process and urged the security agencies not to apply excessive force in dealing with the opposition.
We have shared with them our concerns with the National Voter Register, which is both manual and biometric, and how it can disfigure, how it has been an issue in a number of electoral challenges before court. And that they have committed that they're trying to reconcile both legally and practically how they can deal with the issue of a dual voter register. Including a matter relating to security of candidates during polls, that is a stakeholder matter. We have advised them to have a conversation with stakeholders, because in our proposal we said that we prefer that presidential candidates are protected by the same security agency to avoid conflict.
The Electoral Commission spokesperson Julius Muchunguzi assured the Democratic Alliance of the Commission's commitment to fair service delivery, regardless of political affiliation, and pledged to address the concerns raised.
And as it is its practice, the Commission granted audience to the team, and the team came and discussed issues related to ensuring a free, fair, credible, transparent elections, because that is the business the Electoral Commission is mandated to do. So the context of the meeting was in line with the commitment of the Commission to meet all those people, all those individuals, all those groups, all those associations that have a role to play, that have a stake in the electoral process, and when they seek to meet the Commission.
Earlier, the National Unity Platform made leadership changes, replacing Honorable Matthias Mpuga with Mwanga Chivumbi as the Deputy Party President for Buganda. Electoral Commission spokesperson Julius Muchunguzi welcomed input from all political parties, promising better service delivery in line with their commitment to fairness.
Issues that are being discussed are the issues that the Commission has been talking about. In voter participation, update of the National Voters Register, to make sure that everybody that has a role to play, that can reach the people, informs them about the voter register exercise. 2, the issues to do with ensuring that we have high voter turnout, that people actually come out and vote after they have registered as voters. 3, the issue of ensuring that we have a peaceful election, that there is no space and place for violence in our elections.
Amwaye Vanjuko for UBC.
tukwaniriza waka eri ebisanyusa. Eri Wi-Fi buli wamu. Eri speedi za internet ezawaggulu. Eri obukuumi. Eri obuyambi obuli mu ddaala erisooka. Eri okwanguyirizibwa. Tukwaniriza waka eri MTN Wakanet. Internet yensukkulumu eri buli maka. Kyalira www.mtn.co.ug/wakanet. Tukwaniriza waka nga tuli wamu tewali kitulema.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukoto Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor. Government of Uganda presents Post Buses in Uganda, operated by Posta Uganda. We specialize in professional transport, courier and vehicle hire services across Uganda. Our routes include Kampala Masaka Mbarara Kabale Chisoro, Kampala Mukono Jinja Mbale via Tirinyi Road Soroti Lira, and Kampala Luwero Kamudini Gulu Kitgum. Our main offices are located at the Post Office Head Office on Kampala Road, with booking services available at counters 23 and 24 at the General Post Office. You can also book at designated district post offices along our routes. For inquiries or bookings, please contact us on 0751 684 184. Posta Uganda. We deliver trust.
We thank you so much for watching. Let's now talk business. The Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda has officially launched the 7th edition of its Student Scholarship Program for the year 2025 intake. The scholarships offer comprehensive financial support covering all ICPAU-related expenses.
Virtue of the authority entrusted unto me, I declare the 7th edition of the scholarship program launched.
Speaking at the launch of the Student Scholarship Program for 2025, Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda Vice President Ronald Mutumba highlighted that the initiative aims to improve the accountancy profession by supporting learners. Mutumba stated that applicants must have completed their bachelor's degree in 2024, attaining either first class or second upper honors from a public university or a private chartered university recognized by the National Council for Higher Education.
Every organization, every business, anywhere you go, the services of an accountant will always be required. It's not only in employment.
The scholarship will fully cover costs for registration, annual renewal, examination fees and study materials. Applicants are required to submit a 300-word essay outlining their aspirations to become professional accountants alongside their academic transcripts. Charles Byaruhanga, the Education Manager of Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda, emphasized the program's vision of nurturing future leaders in professional accountancy.
And what is the expectation? To
to study diligently, to complete the course, and become accountants.
During the event, seasoned accountant and academic Andrew Kawere underlined the adverse career opportunities at CPA designation offers, including roles as strategic business advisors, owners of private accounting firms, and key players in various industries.
Networks. Networks with your peers, networks with the professionals that you meet in forums such as this one here. Okay, and that's what I mean by being proactive as you go through this journey.
The 2025 scholarship recipients will commence their CPA journey in May with an expected course completion timeline of 2.5 years.
The scholarship program is going to be critical in adding to the stock of accountants in the bank.
Instead of going for masters, encourage yourself. For me, don't believe in being motivated by other people. You have to motivate yourself. That, do I need this? Yes. If at all I need it, what do I have to do?
These students will be equipped with skills to excel in key fields such as tax consultancy, financial management, auditing, financial reporting, management accounting, and insolvency practice.
You have got the scholarship. I urge you all to put in the effort and focus on it. You will pass.
Launched in 2019 as part of the Institute of Certified Public Accountants of Uganda Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative, the scholarship program has so far supported 60 students over 6 cycles, helping them realize their dreams of becoming professional accountants. I'm Nafka Farid and Vincent Wamundu.
We thank you so much for watching, not only News Tonight, but UBC TV in general. We have more news for you at 10 p.m. Please keep around and watch it. My name is Michael Jordan Lukomwa with Namiyomba here and the whole team. We wish you the best of the evening. Let's catch you at 10.